So I want to talk about the question, should I become an appointment setter before becoming a closer if I'm just getting into remote high ticket sales for the first time? And my answer to this is going to be the same as it always is. And that is, it depends, right? It really just depends on what it is you want. It depends on what your goals are. And one thing you don't want to do is listen to anyone that tells you it has to be one specific strict way, because that's just not true at all. I've seen people enter this industry in a multitude of ways and all be successful doing it completely differently. So I'm never going to be one to think that you have to take my route or someone else's route exactly to a T and tell you all other routes don't work. There are a difference between skills. So if you want to be an appointment setter, you should focus all of your time getting good at appointment setting. If you want to be a closer, you should focus the bulk, if not all of your time, getting really good at closing, because there's pros and cons to each position. They can be and are wildly different in terms of lifestyle. So you should decide which one you can see yourself doing more often. For example, if you can see yourself having, maybe 15 to 20 conversations per day, dialing almost kind of whenever it is you want, and dialing anywhere from 100 to 200 on average new numbers every single day, then, maybe if that's like attractive to you, then maybe the appointment setter role is the one you go for. If you'd rather have, 5 to 7 inbound scheduled calls on your calendar that you show up to, maybe obviously you still do outbound in terms of calling out and confirming those calls, managing your pipeline. Some offers you might have to do some self-setting to make sure your calendar is as full as you want it to be. But if you like the idea of taking more hour-long setup, pre-scheduled in calls, then maybe the closer role is more your alley in terms of lifestyle. If you like the idea of just hopping on your phone and DMing people and having conversations on your phone, you can do it on the couch in your underwear. And you really can do it from anywhere as long as you've got some Wi-Fi and a phone, then maybe the DM setting role is the role for you, because you're setting most of your appointments through Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs, stuff like that. Do you have to be a setter before you get to closer? Will businesses not hire you as a closer if you've never been a setter? Absolutely not. You can go directly into closing. It's not like it doesn't have that much correlation. Is it a little bit easier to land a setter role? Sure. But that doesn't mean you have to do that first before you get promoted into closer. And I'd say a lot of people, they get stuck in setter roles because they're so afraid of that transition, and or thinking that, or someone telling them they need a certain amount of months or years before they make the transition. But it's just not true. I've seen people not being in this industry at all come in, start off as closers, and do very, very well for themselves. So think about the lifestyle that you want to see, that you want to live when it comes to this industry. And, obviously the types of money that you want to make, it is different between the roles, but not wildly different in terms of you can never make over 7, 8K a month as a setter. I've seen setters making 20K a month. I've seen closers making 5, 6K a month. That really comes down to one skill set and the economics of the offer that you're on. Closers typically do get paid more, but that doesn't mean you can never get to 10K a month as an appointment setter. Might be easier as a closer, but again, it's not impossible. So, at the end of the day, it's a big ball of depends, and you have to just figure out what you're more attracted to, what you like, the economics that work for you, and then go after that, right? Keep learning skills, keep networking, and just go after exactly what it is you want. Regardless, I think it is good to have both skill sets in your wheelhouse. But as you spend more and more time in this industry, if you're constantly networking for better and better offers, you're probably going to come across a great offer where you're going to be mostly specialized, meaning that, as a closer, your time is better spent taking more calls and opening up more calendar space for calls to come in, rather than outbound dialing and self-setting. If from an ROI standpoint and the business economics has things in place where that's true, then obviously you're not going to need to utilize much appointment setting skills. But for most closers, that's not necessarily the case. So you do want to have a little bit of appointment setting skills. Same thing with setters. You want to have not necessarily closing skills, but you want to have the ability to know how to set appointments on your own calendar. Maybe if you're setting like inbound triages so that you can, learn how to manage a calendar and show up to more scheduled in calls so that you have more opportunity to set. And then if you do want to close, learn that skill so you can make that transition quicker. At the end of the day, there's really no right answer. I'll say it finally here. It depends. Whatever you want, go after it. If you want to be a closer, practice closing. You don't need to do setter mocks before you move into closer mocks. Practice how to do a discovery and how to handle objections and how to pitch and all those things. If you want to be a setter, practice how to set, and away you go. Find someone that can help you review your calls and so that you're consistently improving. Get on an offer, see if you like it, continue with it. That's all I got to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.